Uh, Welcome to the second webinar of me, PANCH. Let's begin again in memory of Vilas Karadkar. Gentlemen, a few updates. Ramesh Parab is doing well. He has been detached of all his attachments of tubes and things like that. He's improving well and may return home by the next 10 days. That's the latest update that we have. I must also say I'm so happy to inform that Appa Linge, our friend, who came back from hospital last Saturday, is with us on the webinar today. He has joined us on the webinar. It's nice to see him. Gentlemen, I think he deserves, like last time, a round of applause, which you can do by unmuting your mic for a minute or so.
Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Welcome back, Appa.
Welcome back, sir.
Welcome back, sir.
बरं वाटलं तुम्हाला बघून अप्पा सर. I must also inform you that Maruti Shetty, who was also admitted with COVID at KEM Hospital, has returned home on this Monday, the one Monday that went. As and when possible, we will also give him a round of applause to welcome him back home and back to umpiring shortly. Nice one, gentlemen. That's great. Sometimes I feel like I'm the Prime Minister ordering people to clap, but then that's the only way we can show appreciation for people when to come back into fighting a war, a battle, I would say, more than a war, a battle, successful. Welcome back, gentlemen. Another bit of news. Ghanshyam Nakwa and his wife have been tested positive and are hospitalized, but are doing very well and should shortly be back home. So that finishes the announcements in terms of medical. In terms of the prize, the late I.M. Mamsa prize, our panel has had a discussion, and we are going back to the recordings to check, because we find that the question that we found to be good has 2 or 3 participants who asked similar types of questions. So we will announce the result of the first I.M. Mamsa prize shortly. Same way it will continue for today also, and today too we will have the I.M. Mamsa prize coming up. Today's speaker, Yogesh Panchgar.
Yes.
Yeah. See both your hands up. Good. What a pleasure to introduce Yogesh Panchgar, whom we popularly called as Yo. Before I speak about his achievements, I must speak about the gentleman himself. He is one of the hard-working, ever helpful professional that you would ever know. A fine human being. I've known him for over 4 years. But over 4 years, whenever I was the manager of the team and wherever he was a trainer, he was an asset to me. Whether we were traveling, whether we were in the hotel, whether we were going to the rooms, whether we were in the meeting, whether we were in the bank. The man used to go out of his way to make everybody comfortable. A workaholic of the highest order. The man used to work 12 to 14 hours every day on players, which is very, 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 very difficult, given that players would come at their own times for their physical fitness activities. But he never cringed. He was a man with a smile, and he continues to have that smile. So what I think we must, yeah. And as far as you is concerned, he had a 16-year-long career as a corporate professional. I mean, you name the mobile service providers, Hatch, Hatch, Orange, EPL, he's been with them. And after 16 years, decided to throw this to the winds and pursue his passion of training people. One of the finest professional trainers that you can have in Mumbai today. You comes with a huge amount of patience and experience and a heavy knowledge based on reading and interacting. You also graduated from various certification courses in training. But what is very important, what is very important is that you is now doing his masters with the university in UK. I'm hearing some voices. Some mics off, please, if you don't mind. Some mics off, please.
Vaidya sir, you can mute everyone.
Yeah. He has to mute himself. His voice is coming the loudest. And really brings his professional corporate career, mixes it and blends it with his training modules to bring out the best of a person. His individualized, personalized training schedules for each and every player was always a standout. And the man knows what he's doing. I mean, if you said, I don't want to do exercise today, he would not say no. You say, yes, okay, but if you look at it and, you speak in such a corporate way of telling that the guy would get up and say, yaar, main kar leta hu aaj. Bhai, main kar leta hu, please aaja. Very persuasive guy, hugely successful. And he has a life partner, Ruby. Am I right with the name, Ruby?
Yes, sir.
Who supports him in every way. She is also a training professional. Your specialty is marathon training. I mean, there are innumerable athletes whom he's trained over this period of time for the marathons, the mini, the half, then the full marathons. And he himself participates in all of those and has won many accolades over a period of time. Without wasting much time, we get down to the subject for the day, which is health is wealth, pre-season training. We've done a lot of mental exercises over 2.5 months. We learned a lot of laws. We learned a lot of things to implement laws. Let's see how we can tune our bodies to kickstart the season. Over to you, Yogesh, for you to carry on what we want to do.
Thank you, Ganesh sir. That's for a lovely introduction. I ever got, which you're very good at it. Okay, hello friends. I would say respected umpires. What for the topic for today is a pre-season fitness programs. Without taking too much of time, I'll come to the topic and explain how we will go with the topic. So what our plans right now is we have not started the season, but it's going to be a big season ahead, and it's very important.
I think your net is slightly slow or stuck. Yo is not able to hear you.
And essential not only for the umpires
You're
I
not
think Yogesh
audible at
has
this
got
point of
low
time.
connectivity.
Yeah, I think he's logged out.
Okay, let him log in and you have to enter him again, please.
Hello, sir. I'm audible.
Yeah, we can hear you now. You're
I'm sorry
audible
for
now.
that.
No issues. Go
Wi-Fi
ahead, go
issue.
ahead.
Okay, so I was saying that how it is important fitness program for the empires, because as your schedule is going to be, you're going to stand for 6 hours complete, and then probably with a lot of mental stress, and also how you come up with it. So what I've done is it's a big thing, plan of fitness program or to do. So what I've come up with is some basic exercises and basic plan. How can you do it before the season starts? So I have the PPT which is made. I guess everyone has gone through it. So firstly, I would like to go out with this. How the fitness this will help. There are various reasons how the fitness helps us, but I've taken few important parts of it. I like to try and explain it in explain how it will help you. After that, I'll go through all the exercise plans and also give you a demonstration of few exercises how that can be done. So the first one is better functioning of the body. So, I mean, as you've already heard about it, where the heart takes oxygenated blood and goes around the body, and it exchanges to the various part of the muscles, and the good oxygenated blood is going to the body, and the inferior oxygen blood comes up to the heart again. It purifies and it spreads all over the body again. So when you do exercise, your your muscles are like a sponge. So when you with water, if you soak the sponge, all the water it is there, it goes out, and when you release it, relax it, it comes again. So same function does with the muscle as well. So when you do any activity or when you do any of the exercises, your muscles contracts and relaxes. So when it contracts, all the oxygenated or deoxygenated enzymes are that goes out in the blood, and the oxygenated blood goes in the muscle. So that way it works out and it works complete whole body of it. So that's why your blood circulation is much better when you exercise. So that helps us to function the body very well. The second part is delays fatigue. So as you use strengthening exercises, so generally it says that an individual who is training, who's into a training mode, his muscles can store the energy multiple 3 times compared to the person who is not training. So when you train, you have energy of into 3 times. So it's very important when you train, you'll have a lot of energy. As it says, your job is very demanding, that you have to stand for 6 hours. Not only that, mentally activity before the match, after the match as well. And again, consecutive days you have another match, but the really rest period as well. So it's very important when you train, you can stand, you can take that load where your fatigue doesn't comes in. So that will delay the fatigue where you're mentally or much aware the game is happening as you're required for. The second one is delay aging process. Over here is as it says. So I'm audible?
You're audible.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going just a theory part of it. Then I'll come to the practical part. The next part is as it says that your bone starts to degenerate after the age of 25. That's the scientific way. It says after the age of 25, the bone starts to degenerate. And even the muscle that you have after age of 30 and 40, your muscle starts to loosen up. It goes out. So every decade, every 10 years, your 8 to 10% of the muscle mass keeps on going. So the only way to retain that muscle mass and your bone to not to degenerate, to have a nice density of the bone, you have to train. You have to give slight impact to your bone and the muscle, so that is maintained. As it's the bones and the muscles are maintained, you'll have the energy to work off very functional very well. So even that is very important, where it helps to for the aging process as well. And the last one is risk of injuries. I mean, I have the experience. I mean, as being with the team, I have seen the umpires as well, where they have a lot of injuries as well. They're still carrying out in the field. They are absolutely fine, focused. But after the field, I could see a lot of small injuries are there. So I think if you start training, those injuries can be taken care of very. So, so that will help. So what I've done, sir, is over here is I have done a basic programming which will help each and every individual out here. So that programming, sir, even can the PPT can be shown simultaneously with me for everyone?
We will
Yes, you
try to,
can.
but you can go ahead.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
fine.
will allow you to share the screen so you can show that. No problem.
I don't have the PPT with me right now. It's in the mobile.
No, we already sent to the group.
Okay, I sent a group, so I will
Already.
just go ahead. I'll go ahead with it. So what I've done is fitness as general has many components to it. So if you go to gym and do the physical activity, that will not satisfy your requirement. So if you keep doing it, yes, it will help your strengthen your bones, your muscles. But what about your cardiovascular training, which is your heart? For that, it is very important you do a conditioning programming where it involves running or do cycling or any activity which involves swimming. So you have to plan those very well. Along with that, it is a very important part of it is your core training and your glute training, which everyone neglects to it. That's very important because that takes care of your body very well and it balances your upper body and the lower body. So what I've done over here is to give justice to each and every component. I've made a 6-day plan where Monday I've given strength, Tuesday I've given core and glute, and Wednesday I've given conditioning, and Sunday I've given rest. So every week you have 2 strength days, 2 conditioning days, and 2 core and glute days. So now, as this has been designed to you, now what you will be doing on those specific days, starting with very important is your warm up and your cool down. I've also studied yoga, and I always feel that yoga is very underutilized thing into the fitness industry. So, but I can say right now, a lot of Americans are trying to use yoga into the fitness, strength, and conditioning part. So I feel yoga, one very crucial and very important thing which in yoga is it is Surya Namaskar, which has 12 positions. So you can use Surya Namaskar because it has 12 positions as a warm up. So if you do 12 Namaskars, where you can do at least 5 to 6 Surya Namaskars will help you to open up your body nicely because each and every movement has been taken care of. So that will help you to open up very freely. Second is the one asana which I've given. That's a mala asana. That's mala asana is a position where you sit sideways. Uh, which you can say the Indian toilet position, which as per right now, a lot of people have challenges because of the tighter hip mobility and your ankle mobility, which is not possible. But still, by doing these exercises, you will try and open your complete body very well. So that's come to that is a part of your warm up. And then I have designed the lower body lower body stretching part where it involves the hamstring, quadriceps, glute, which I'll explain it when we do little practical exercises. Then we come to the strength part. So let's start because now giving the program, I guess you must be having this program with you. Even for me, it's very easier to give the program and you go and do it. But the challenge is how this exercise has to be performed. It's very important, and it has to go and approach to a scientific way. Now, telling someone do a squats, it's very everyone does the squats, but very rare people does the squats at a right manner. So what I'm trying to do when we do few exercises right now, I'll try and explain each and every exercise, and I'll give you a few cues. If you want, you can jot down few cues which will help you out. So I understand where the the audience what we have right now has from the various ages from 24 to 60 years. So each and every exercise will not be easier for them to do it. So one exercise of squat, I'll divide in two parts. for people who finding it a little difficult, they can go with the beginner level or the intermediate level. And someone who find it this, he can do it, he can go for the advanced level. So for the first one, I'll start with the basic level, how you can start with the Scott. For that, I have to demonstrate it. So there's a chair which I've placed it out here. Very important when you're sitting in the chair, there your legs has to be into a 90-degree angle. Now that's a angle. Over here now you have to move your feet slightly ahead. Now that becomes the negative angle. So that is about a 90-degree. From here what you will do is toes is slightly out and distance between the feet, I mean the feet distance should be shoulder line distance. From here you straight away stand up, and when you stand up you have to go to PPT. Now PPT is more of a technical term. The simpler way is contract your glutes. So when you contract your glutes, it automatically goes into the posterior pelvic tilt. And from here, you have to go and sit down. So that's the basic one, where you can do this exercise of sitting in the chair and coming up for 15 repetitions of 3 sets. Why this is important, I'll come to the next part. When you're doing a squats, as I said, when we'll do a body weight squat, the distance between the leg has to be the shoulder line distance. What we're trying to do is we're going to try and open the toes slightly out, because when you try and open your toes slightly out, you're also going to engage your glute muscles. So I'll go with a side angle. As I said, when you went to, you had a chair behind, so you went to sat down, right? What you need to do is your movement is going to be 2 movements. One is your hip movement, the other one is the knee movement. So always first initial movement will be off your hip. So as if you're trying to sit in the chair, so you do a hip hinge and then you go down and up. The mistake what happens over here is people do an initial movement of the knee where they bend the knee first and they go forward. So their knees is cross the toe, and there's a lot of challenges with the knee pain. So if you still go with this exercise with the knee going forward, you're going to encounter a lot of knee problems. So always over here is, first is your hip. Just imagine there's a chair behind, you're going to sit in the chair, goes down and come up. So when you come up, you have to contract the glute. Very simple. Only one more thing I would like to add over here is your breathing pattern. Very, very important when you exercise. To understand how simply, I'll try and explain this simpler. You have seen the rocket, how it goes out. So as it goes out, the flame which comes from the backside, same goes with here. So as you go down, you have to exhale out, so going up. So when you again go down, you inhale, exhale out again. So that's the squat position. Last cue over here is very important, is your feet angle. I mean your feet is, I'll try and show, you will get your heel, you have the toe, the big toe, and you'll have the little toe. So now this makes a triangle. So when you're coming up, you have to put in all the 3 pointers and come up, the force. So I'll try and show the feet part.
Yogesh, just a minute. Yogesh, just a minute.
Yeah.
Sir, I think we will have to extend this meeting by re-logging. There is a message that in 2 minutes the meeting will go off. So request to everybody, as soon as the meeting is off, take a minute and re-log in, re-enter the meeting.
Okay.
With the same
All
ID,
of you
right?
please understand. Same ID.
Same ID. Okay.
Yeah, you have to click the same link.
Yeah. I think we'll wait for 2 minutes for it to log off.
So should we go ahead, sir? So
Yeah,
we will go ahead till the meeting gets
Let
over.
him continue for 2 minutes.
Okay. So the cue, I'll again give it. What are the cue? First cue is distance between the leg will be shoulder or slightly away. Apart from that, toes slightly out. That's the second cue. Third cue is you will bend first your hip. Hip goes down first. That's the third cue. Fourth cue is you'll have the pointers, which I told the tripod position. You'll put the pressure between the legs to come up there. And the last one, second last one would be when you stand up, you'll contract the glute. And the last one is breathing pattern when you come up. So that will be squat. That's the right way when you do a squats. Second exercise over here is because I've designed the exercise a completely overall body wise. So the next exercise is the pull-ups one. So I don't have any bar out here where I can demonstrate the chin-ups. So I will skip that and I'll go ahead with the next exercise that is called lunges. Again, when you do this exercise, the leg exercise, these are going to work on overall body of yours. That's the quadriceps, your hamstring, and the glute. Over here, when you do a lunges, you have to take a mat. You kneel down. From here, you take a right leg forward. That to create a 90-degree angle. As I said in the first part, when you do a squats, there's a tripod which is created. Put the pressure on the leg, on the tripod, and come up. And as same, you'll go down.
Yeah, you're in.
Yeah.
Let's give the guys 2-3 minutes to log in. Some of them, I mean, because last 2 sessions we had uninterrupted sessions. It's the first time they're going to do a login.
Okay, sir. I'm ready.
We'll tell you to go when to go because we're just
Right.
looking at the people joining.
I understand.
Eighty % are in. We will just wait for a minute.
Thank you.
Your son is there? Is your son around?
No, he's gone on to my sister's house.
Okay. Yeah, you can go.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
So
okay, good to go.
okay, so we completed the squats part. We have skipped the chin-ups part. We have done the lunges. So the lunges, again, I said I'll go very quickly. You fold the mat. You come on the kneel down. Take the right leg to a 90-degree. Now, when you're coming up, 2 things very important. One thing was a breathing pattern. You exhale out like a rocket. You come up. And the pressure will always go on the front leg. And all the 3 pointers, like a tripod, which I said, triangle. The people mistake out there, what they do is they put the pressure on the back leg. So that's in deformity. So this is very simple. Go down. As you can do this, again, repetitions would be 10 to 12 repetitions. As you get better, we can do almost with the weights as well. The next is a push-up. Uh, Again, a push-up mistake, what they do is, they, for example, if I do a wall push-up, they keep their hands straight here and they do push-up. So because of this angle, there's an AC joint which gives a shoulder injury. So when you're doing a push-up, there's a one basic cue you have to remember is always be like an arrow. So if I'm doing a push-up, for example, this is a flow, I can't, my elbows has to not be straight like a T, it has to go like an arrow position. So I go down and up. So this becomes an arrow. So this is very safe when you do a push-up. The next one, again, it's a step up. I will have to wait my wife, she's sitting in this stool. Even in the step up position would be, if you have a stool, a small, very important would be, distance of the stool should be knee or below the knee. Don't go straight away with more than the knee height. So when you put the pressure again out here, as I said earlier, again the tripod comes in picture. You put the pressure on the front leg and you go up. And then that relax. Your knee should not go forward. It will go straight up and down. That is the only cue. Again, the breathing pattern involves that. The next one is calf raises. Calf raises, I guess everyone does that. You can just go on the one leg, go slow up and down. So that is covered into the strength part of it. Second, as you move forward, important is a glute, leg raises and all. That is completely you're focusing on the core and in the glute part. So that I'll skip about it. That I can share, if required, I can share a video about it where you can go through it. And very important, the conditioning part. So as you do Monday, you would do it, for example, if you do it strength, Tuesday you can do core and glute exercise. On Wednesday, what can be done is you have to go out. You can't do everything in the gym. You need to go out, do a run or do walk. So now every person is completely different. Now my fitness level compared to the third person will be completely different. So over here, I've given a generalized plan. First, go for the walk. If you can go for a walk for 30 to 40 minutes, if you're comfortable with that, then you can go for a slow jog of 20 to 30 minutes. If this thing is not possible because of the COVID issue is there, we can't go out of the building. So you can go to a staircase climbing, where you do 1 minute of climbing and you take a 1 minute rest. Again, you go one floor up, you come one floor down. Do this 5 to 7 times. So that will take care of your cardiovascular training. So you're training the strength part, your muscle, ligaments, tendons. You're doing a conditioning, you're taking care of your heart part. And then you're doing a core and glute, which is taking care of your core and your glute part. So this exercise is done. I'll just right now, lastly, and explain you what are the stretches, because that's very important part which a lot of people doesn't focus on. The stretching is how the stretching can be done very nicely. So I'm only focusing on the lower body part of the stretching because that's the mistake everyone does. I'll start with the front muscle that's called the quadriceps, how that can be done. So when you're doing a quadriceps stretch, simple is you have to hold the ankle and hold. Now what mistake people does is when they hold the knee is always forward, right? It can't be forward. It has to be going backwards. Because when you take it backward, then you're going to feel the stretch on your quadriceps. One. And don't lean forward. Just stay ahead and stretch. Now, very important, as per the recommendation, it says 30 seconds you have to hold the stretch. I would say start with 20 seconds first, and then you can go ahead with 30 seconds. So the first one which I showed was quadricep stretch, head of the muscle. The next is your hamstring. Hamstring, how you can do it? Take the right leg forward, place it on the heel. Now push your hip backwards. Hip is backward and try and touch your ankle. I guess my wife said there's some questions. What I can do is once we complete this, because last 2 or 3 exercise stretches are more. Once we complete those stretches, then I can try and answer all your queries.
You, they
Yes,
were
sir.
just asked to list so that we can go in an order. You finish
Right.
everything of yours, and when you say you're open for questions, is only when the questions will get open.
Right, right. So because our last few stretches are there, then I will go and take all the queries. So I'll come to the hamstring part. Right leg goes forward. You place your heel. Take your hip backwards. Now when you take it backwards, you're gonna feel a nice and then try and hold your ankle by going down. Now once you go down, you'll feel the stretch. Very important stretch again. 30 to 20 seconds. You have to hold the stretch. That takes care of your hamstring. Very important is your groin part, which is the inner thigh. For there is, which I said in earlier, to do a mala asana. Again, how it can be done is go to the Indian toilet position by sitting down, relax, take the hand, do a namaste, put your elbow to a knee and push your knees out and hold. Now when you do it, you'll get a nice stretch in your groin. Again, 30 to 20 seconds. Very important, the last one is your calf stretches. What you can do is, you can place, again this angle will be fine. Go to the wall, heel stretch. Now from here, don't keep your chest up, bring your hip closer to the wall. Because when you bring your hip closer to the wall, you can feel a nice stretch in the calves. Why I have taken specifically low body stretches? Because that's the time that you keep on the field, you walk around, your muscles is all the time in nice tension, and you keep working. When you do exercise, everyone neglects the stretching part. So as you keep stretching, you'll be more mobile. Your range of motion will be much better. Once the range of motion is better, you will have less injury to it. Apart from this, where if anyone wants more of completely exercise of core, I can share that. I can share a couple of videos to everyone later. Let's start because the only point was I wanted to explain the exercise in a right manner, because everyone does the exercise in a wrong manner. Instead of giving benefit of the exercise, people get it the issues and injuries because it is not done right manner. So अच्छा करने भी जाते हैं, then in fact they go to the physio because it's actually not done right way. So guys, I'll try and take your queries, questions. The first one is
The first person is going to be Bakul Ondier. Bakul, you can unmute and ask a question.
Good evening, sir.
very good evening.
Yogesh sir, I want to ask specifically about
Yes.
this hamstring. See, during our normal days, when we are going to gym, we can do leg curl, a stiff leg deadlift,
Okay.
and many exercises like good morning. But now,
Right.
when we are at home, there is very limited, like only good morning we can do for hamstring strengthening. And
Okay.
about your stretching the hamstring, slightly longer question. About
Okay.
your hamstring stretching, if I can put my leg on the chair or on the raised surface, is it better, or the one which you showed on the ground is better? One more thing,
Okay.
I'm an ectomorph. So
Okay.
I'm worried about my neck, this thing, neck strengthening part. Neck size
Okay.
is very, you can say, thin. So
Right.
does my trap exercise like shrugs and upright rowing will help me out in this? or there are some specific neck exercise which may be helpful for me? Kindly answer.
Right. The neck part is that there are few exercises where you can get straighten your neck part where I don't have the band out here right now, but by pulling the hand off, you can start with this first part and put slight pressure on your neck
Uh,
and for few seconds. So that's basically strengthens your neck out here. Where you go with the hamstring part over here is there are various exercises for hamstring. Understanding the fact that we don't have access to a gym, I can give you or show you one exercise how that can be benefited. You can only take two towels, small towels. If Ruby, there's a towel. I have to just, so I'll just show it once. Okay. So I can just show what I've done is you can take two small towels, place it on the leg, you lie on the back, you lift your leg up, you have contracted the glute, now leg goes slightly lower, you hold there and you bring again up. So if you do this without any activity or without any muscles, or I mean the equipment, you can still work on your hamstring, which is possible. Secondly, what I would say, which is very important, which no one does. No one does that. It is very important when you go for a fitness program, you have to do your MSK and your fundamental movement skills program thing. Because when you do that, we will be able to identify your constraint to what and why we need to work on it. Because this is a more of a general program exercise which I've given. But generally, what as per MCA does, as Ganesh knows it very well, we test the player very well. Once we test the player, we understand where his plus points are, where his weak points are, where there are chances of injuries. So, if possible, I guess, I mean, we were speaking to Sir as well, that can be done, few testings can be done, basic testings can be done to understand where the chances of y'all are there to taken care of it. So, I hope I've got your answer.
Thank you, sir. One more thing, like
Yeah.
we all are doing our what you can say ego boosting parts very well, like
Right.
chest, biceps, quadriceps. But we
Right.
always find difficult for back or triceps or hamstring. So please
Right.
explain how it is very much important about the hamstring or the back or a trap or a triceps.
I will give very important, even you do a trap or back, that is still people work on it. But people forget to work on the legs. So I will try and focus more on legs and I'll try and give the answer. What happens is there. So if you remember, if you have read somewhere, it says the second heart is your calves. Now, why is that? As you know, the blood, as I explained it earlier, the blood goes from the oxygen blood goes to each and every part of the muscle. It goes even down. Even when it goes down, all the muscles it is working, they exchange all the gases. I mean, the purified gases, the oxygen blood is given, the deoxygenated blood is taken back. Now it has to come up. Now, how that will come up? Because there's no pressure, because of the gravitational force, the blood is always going to be down. So what happens is, if you don't train your legs, because when you train your legs, your legs will contract. Now, once your muscles contract, it will push your blood a little up. Now, when this muscle push up, it will come a little more up. As you keep doing that, it will come up, and it becomes easier. A blood flow is flow very nicely. So people mistake out they do is they don't take care of that, which is very, very bad. So you're doing a leg exercise is very, very important. Now it's more of an aesthetic look right now. Everyone wants to go and show the body, but this will never help you. If you see a proper strength and conditioning uh, sports sports guys are there, they are not huge unless the sports demand. Like if they play a rugby or something, then you need to be. If you see a Roger Federer, he's not aesthetically look, but still the way he moves, that is what is important is. So aesthetic look, which is there, which is we can't help it. I mean, it is gone in the brain that it has to look that way. But if you see it technically, scientifically, no. It is you have to work on the legs. Someone has to explain the science, why they have to work on it, and how that will help. So it always says your base has to be strong.
Thank you, sir. Only
Sameer
one last
Dirwani.
part is remaining. Only, sir, one last part is
Boss,
remaining.
boss, Bakul, you cannot hog the show.
Okay,
Please
sir.
wait
Okay, sir.
for your turn. There is Sameer
Sir,
Dirwani.
sir.
If we have time, we'll come back to you.
Right.
Fine, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sameer Dirwani, please. Sameer, you can unmute. Is Sameer there? Is Sameer there? Yeah. If- Sameer, you can ask your question.
Yes, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, it was a really nice session, Yogesh. But I think so. While doing umpiring, many of the umpires are facing a problem of a back, actually lower back problems. So, can you help
Right.
with some stretches that can help us to strengthen our lower back? Actually,
Okay.
it will be a good helpful if you this were all exercises.
Right.
If back stretches are complement with that actually.
Okay. So what I can do is I can explain why what is back or core. It is always importantly said your core is starts from here and it also goes on the back. So the core has to be very importantly taken. So what happens and there's no anything. For example, for your ribs are there, your hip bones and strongs are there, but over here it's only vertebrae, and there's no muscles around it. I mean, there are few muscles around there, but it's a hollow. So very important when you do exercise, you have to brace the core and you do exercises. You also have to do exercises to improve your core strength. So people mistake what they do is, again, there's a psychological myth. They always go for crunches. So that is again wrong. Because when you do crunches, it's only going to focus on the strength front part of the back, your abdomen. What about your sides? What about your low back? So there are few exercises that you do. Probably if you see what I've given you all, it's a small exercise where you do a plank that will take care of your front part. When you do a side plank, it will take care of your obliques. When you do a dead bug, exercises, that focuses on your multifidus, which is your inner core. People, it says that कि अगर six packs रहा, 6 packs से कुछ होता नहीं है. 6 packs is only for an aesthetic look. अगर वो core अच्छा होता तो like Shahrukh Khan or Hrithik Roshan, they never have a slips injury. So you have to train your internal muscles more than the oblique. So the exercise which I've given, the core muscles, the planks, side planks, the leg raises, and the dead bug. If you do these exercises, it will take care of your core. And I mean, then your injuries. I mean, you will not have any problems with the core then. But if it has to be done alternate days, जैसे कि हफ्ते में 2 बार आपने किया या 3 बार आपने किया. So slowly as you keep doing, your core gets strengthened. You will be able to take the load. There will be less pressure because your muscle is taking care of the bearing of the load.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The next one is from Neha Gandhi. Neha, you can unmute and speak.
Thank you, sir. Hi, good evening, Yogesh. My name is Nihar.
Good evening. Hi.
I have a couple of queries, so maybe I can go with the first one. I
Right.
hope I am audible to you.
Yeah, very clear.
My query was first on the squats, which is on the form. I've been told, I mean, when I actually go down for the squats, my heels actually, kind of come up, and I've been told by many people that it is actually detrimental. Unfortunately, not been able to work around it to figure out a solution. If you give me any tips to work around that. That was my first query.
Very important. Not only you, but a lot of people have that problem where the toe, I mean, the heel comes up, right?
The heel comes up.
Yeah. So again, a technical thing I'll try and explain. So if the camera is focused here, then I can show what happens is. Now, when you do a squats, the people only think, या फिर कोई और बोलेंगे, जाओ नीचे जाओ, just go down, keep going down, down, down. If there is some issues with the mobility of the ankle, the range of the ankle, there's a less mobility, you cannot go down. If I'll get restricted here, if I have a nice range of the mobility of my ankle, it will go nicely down. So what has to be done? Or that could be other reason, your calves can be very tight. Because of your calf is very tight, you cannot go down. That could be the reason. There could be one more reason. Your hip mobility will be less. Because of all these things, your hip mobility, your tightness in the calf, there could be tightness of your ankle mobility that is restricting you to go down. So what happens is you put the body pressure on up there. So I don't know, basically it is your ankle mobility, whether your calf is tight or there's a hip mobility. That is only possible probably when you do an assessment. An assessment will give us the idea. In the assessment, if we get to know that your calf is tighter, so what we can do, then we can work on it. If a calf is tighter, probably you can do a foam rolling on the calves. It will release. If your ankle mobility is weaker, then you work on your ankle mobility, because once your ankle mobility is improved, automatically you will be able to go down. So you have to work on small part. I mean, by pushing you down to make you sort more and more, it won't serve the purpose. So we need to understand what is the diagnosis of it. So that will be only possible if you go to a physio, or if you work with some trainer, he'll be able to explain you what is the challenge, what is restricting you. Okay. So, but that has to be checked completely, and then we can tell what is the key for you. But these are the three factors: ankle mobility, calf tightness, or hip mobility.
Thanks, Yogesh. I think I'll get it done, because I think it just helps me take a direction in the right step rather than just focusing on just sticking my heels, because that's what I've been doing so far.
Right. Only one cue I can give you out here. Only one cue. You can still do a squat before you go and meet the physio. What you can do is you can have some plate weights and place it on the heel, and then start doing squats for timing till you go.
Some of my trainers have made me do that. Basically stand on a slight elevation on the heels, which relatively helps me.
But that's just a short process. If you really want to improve, कब तक करोगे आप? So try and fix it rather than working on that range. So try and fix it would be improve your ankle mobility or whatever it is once we come to know the testing.
Okay. The second query was on the conditioning part, and especially because it's monsoon time. Just wanted to check, apart from the walking or the jogging or the taking the stairs part, what is the importance of aerobics, specifically things like jumping jacks or skipping ropes? Does it also have the same kind of an impact as the other conditioning exercise that you mentioned? And if yes, what is the duration or how much should one do it?
Okay, so you're trying to compare the jumping jack and the skipping compared to the running part?
Running, stroke, walking.
Okay.
Part. Basically, does it come in the conditioning, or is it completely different?
It can become, but basically the conditioning would be better when you do a running or skipping, or running, cycling, or swimming, because that is slightly more intense compared to this. Now this also involves it doesn't involve the oxygen. Now you cannot do jumping for non-stop for longer, where you can do cycling for longer time.
Okay.
So this has, and plus this is again a bearing. You're giving an impact to your leg.
Right.
Now cycling doesn't give that much impact. So what happens again when we do a testing, we come to know what is his current fitness level. Now what is the current fitness level? According to that, we tell them what needs to be done. Someone's fitness level is very poor right now, and if I tell him to grow your fitness, your aerobic capacity is very low, you start running 10 kilometers, which is not possible at all. Yes. So where it is there, you slightly increase the mileage by giving, because the body also starts to need to understand what he's doing, which is coming to me. So body also doesn't accept it. But slowly when you give the body a little thing that, yeah, I can do this. So body also start accepting the fact, yeah, okay, this is nothing new. So slowly you have to gradually do that. But coming to the jumping jack and skipping, it is more impactable. You will not use your oxygen, so it doesn't go more in the aerobic capacity. But कुछ नहीं है अभी फिलहाल कुछ नहीं option है where you can't go down and do anything. So उसका supplement, yes, you can do this. And how long you can say that? Again, everyone's capacity is different. Maybe if you do 500, it will be easier for you. Someone do 100 can't do it efficiently. So if you can't do 100 efficiently, then you slowly, gradually increase it up by doing. आज हमने किया, अगर आज हमने 10 किया है तो कल हम 20 करेंगे. Then give a break. नॉन स्टॉप अगर हिट करते रहोगे आगे जाके इंजरीज होगा. So that is more nice planning has to be done. So you go gradual, then you give a rest. So muscles also get worked up very well, recovers well, and then you can go again.
Okay. Thank you, Yogesh.
Can we have Akshay Jambekar next? Akshay Jambekar, you can unmute.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Very much.
Hi, yo. How are you?
Hey, Akshay, how are you?
I'm good. I have a query. I do my stuff at home, but there is one thing which is really difficult for me to do is step up, considering the indifferent size of furniture. And no, even it has been destroyed at my place thanks to me doing it. So any alternative for that, or any alternative way of doing that? Maybe you can help me.
For step up?
Yeah, step up.
So step up, I mean, what, you have a chair? If for you, I can tell you to go with this chair also, yeah.
Yeah, but I had a plastic chair at my place, so which got destroyed thanks to me. And standing on a bed is, I don't think, will be advisable because it is like height is a little bit different from the chair. So that's why.
Is it too high above your knees? So if the recommendation is it is high, so I would say then not to do it. Because step is when you're going to climb up, there's a possibility, chances that you have to come down as well.
Correct.
If there's a plastic chair or probably something else is too high, you will not land rightly. If you don't land rightly, there's a chances of injury. So very important part as a strength and conditioning a trainer does is first is injury prevention, and then you work on the performance side. The first part is we don't want an injury. So which things are there? The possibility of injury is there. Let's eliminate that for time being till we get a proper equipment to work on it. So what you can do is alternately, you can do a split lunges.
Okay.
Split lunges will also work on those muscles, which works on your step up.
Yeah. Thanks, you.
Hi. Good to see you.
Next one is.
Thanks.
Next one is from Shubha Bhosle Gaikwad, all the way from Indore. She's there now. Shubha, you can unmute. We have about 9 minutes to go, so we will do it quickly as possible. Yeah, Shubha.
Okay. Hello, Yogesh. Thank you. Yeah, hello. Am I audible?
Hello. Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah.
But,
am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. No.
First of all,
Also,
it was a great
visible.
session. Yeah, okay. It was a great session, seriously, because umpiring fitness is very important, and everyone should know about this. And my question is about intensity. That as you have given us a plan, a basic plan. So, what do you think after how many weeks we can increase the intensity of this program?
So any exercise program that when you do, so it goes for 3 to 4 weeks. 3 to 4 weeks is one exercise program you can follow.
Okay.
But if you do more than that, 3 to 4 weeks, you go to a plateau where जो आपका graph, it starts from here. You'll reach till 4 weeks में इतना पहुंचोगे आप, but you'll plateau there. Then there's a slight intensity you need to add. You can add a little weight, or you do a little progressive exercise. For example, if I'm doing a chair squat right now, if I do this for more than 4 weeks, if I'm able, then body is ready to it. Body is already accepted the fact. Then body doesn't give any. You need to give a little shock to your body, moderate shock. So then you can go with the normal squats. That would be body weight squats. After body weight squats, you will go with little weight, goblet squat, and then you'll go with the bar, and then you go and squat. So 3 to 4 weeks is a right time to body to understand one particular exercise, and not more than that, because if you go more than that, keep doing it. But that's what people do. Gym में जाते हैं सब, जब से start किया है अब तक 10 साल तक वो 12 repetition ही मारेंगे, which is very wrong, because वो एक plateau हो जाता है body. So you have to work, you have to change the repetitions, you have to change the exercise, you need to change the intensity. So I mean, the trainer will able to guide you very well, but 3 to 4 weeks is the time that you need to keep changing the exercises and progress the exercise.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Gautam Davankar. Gautam, you can unmute.
Hi everyone. My question is very basic. Say somebody like me who hasn't moved a great deal for last 8-10 years, we find ourselves rusty even during the basic stretches, like sometimes cramping, not going the full range of motions. So is it advisable when we begin, we can't actually complete that sort of a range? So is it advisable to start slow and do as much the body allows, or is it necessary to get the form correct right away? That's the question.
Very, very good, because a lot of people has going through the same process. But क्या होता है कि when they see someone is doing some exercise or maybe progressive exercise, they say कि हमको वही करना है. Where you need to understand our body is not conditioned right now for that loads of the exercises. So very important, I would say, is that first to work on your flexibility and your mobility part. Where I'll try and explain the importance someone के important है mobility, because the range of motion is very important. Very important is right now is to get your posture right. Right now we have a lot of postural issues. Everyone in the gym also, people with the rounded shoulders, and they do gym workout and keep they working, they get expand with the same posture way. So if they walk this way, they're feeling better, but that's the informality of the shoulder, because the tights have got tighter, yet rounded ho chuka, and they walk this way only. So as you said, right now what I can suggest you is work on your flexibility and the mobility part now. Get a nice range of hands. For example, if you're lifting a hand, stuck here, improve your shoulder mobility, which can go straight up. So once your posture improves, and then you start working on your body, you will get a lot of strength easily. Gaining strength is not difficult. 3 weeks or 4 weeks of exercises can give you strength. But to work first is on your mobility. Once your mobility is very well, the strength will take you much faster than the other person. So for you, yes, you need to start with your flexibility and your mobility exercises, and slight basic exercises first to start with.
Thank you very
Next
much.
Next on line is Anand. Anand, you can open up your mic.
Yes. हिंदी में पूछता हूँ.
हाँ, please.
Yes. ये प्री सीजन के लिए है, लेकिन मेन प्रॉब्लम पंग करते वक्त जब खड़े रहते हैं,
राइट,
तो लास्ट आफ्टर फैग एंड ऑफ द डे, शाम के वक्त थोड़ा पैर में तकलीफ ज़्यादा होने लगती है. तो बीच के लंच के टाइम या लंच के बाद में टी के टाइम कुछ एक्सरसाइज कर सकते हैं?
सर मैं वो नहीं बोलूंगा कि एक्सरसाइज आपको कुछ करना होगा, बिकॉज एक्सरसाइज अगेन आपको फटीग लेकर किया जाएगा. आप क्या कर सकते हो, स्ट्रेचेस कर सकते हो आप. तो मैं आपको एक स्ट्रेच अच्छा बता सकता हूँ, बिकॉज आप हमेशा स्टैंड खड़े रहोगे, तो इस पे क्या होगा, आपके वर्टिब्रेट थोड़े स्लाउच होंगे. तो एक अच्छा एक्सरसाइज है जो सब करना चाहिए, वो होगा एक भुजंग आसन. भुजंग आसन वो एक सिंपल एक्सरसाइज है, जहाँ आप मैट पे या बेड होगा, वहां पर आप सो जाइए इस तरह. am I clear, Ruby? कैमरा ओके. जस्ट सो जाइए आप स्ट्रेट ऐसे, आपका हाथ आपके हेड के पास होना चाहिए, और स्लाइटली बॉडी को उठाइए और रिलैक्स रखिए. और ये आप 12 या 15 काउंट्स कीजिए, 1 2 3, और वापस जाके रिलैक्स हो जाइए एक. और ऐसे आप 2 या 3 बार कीजिए. जब भी ब्रेक्स होता है, जब भी आप आते हो, ब्रेक्स होते हैं, टी ब्रेक जो भी होता है, तब आप ये एक्सरसाइज करोगे तो आपके बैक के लिए काफी अच्छा होगा. तो स्ट्रेन, क्योंकि नॉर्मली आप खड़े रहने से क्या होता है, वर्टिब्रेट आपका बेंड हो रहा है, डिस्क पे प्रेशर आ रहा है, आप उसको एनकाउंटर मूवमेंट दे रहे हो, वापस सीधा कर रहे हो, स्ट्रेच दे रहे हो. तो उससे काफी फर्क पड़ सकता है। तो आप एक्सरसाइज नहीं बट आप स्ट्रेचिंग कर सकते हो। बट मैंने वही एक चीज कहा था पॉइंटर्स में कि अगर आप स्ट्रेंथनिंग करते रहोगे तो आपको फटीग बहुत डिले सेट इन होगा, मतलब आपको जो थकान तो हो गया आप वो लेट आएगा। तो अगर आप वो पहले चीज करोगे तो और अच्छा पड़ेगा कि इतना स्ट्रेन नहीं आएगा। पर अगर आता है तो ये एक्सरसाइज जो बताया मैंने आपको भुजंग आसन वो आप कीजिए।
थैंक यू, थैंक्स।
वेलकम।
Sir, I think we have come to the close of the session. Ganesh sir, I think Ganesh sir is missing.
Ganesh sir is missing.
Sir, Dandekar sir, can you just take
I'm
over
there.
for a minute? Yeah, Ganesh
I'm
sir
there.
is
I'm
back.
there, boss. I'm
Okay,
there.
okay.
Sir is there. Sir
I'm
is there.
there only.
Okay, okay.
My mic was on mute. My mic was on mute thanks to you.
Yeah.
Just to understand, can I ask Anil Dandekar, a senior most in the list of umpires in terms of positioning in the BCCI, to speak to you, please? Anil Dandekar.
Yeah, Ganesh, thank you. Thank you, Yogesh. I think it was really a wonderful session, because which everybody has this issue about the fitness, and being the sports person and knowing the cricket persons very well, and you have seen umpires from close quarters, I think you would understand exactly what are the issues or challenges as an umpire we face. And
Right.
I could see the kind of program which you have made, which more or less takes care of the basic needs of umpires, rather than, because as an umpire I feel we need the basic inner strength into the core, lower body, back, because that is very essential. We are not going anywhere.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think guys will come in. Yogi.
Yeah.
एक second, I just.
Hi, Yogi. You there?
Yeah, my
Yo.
hands free is. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hi, you're there?
Yeah, I'm there, sir.
Can't see you. Can only see the chair. That's the reason.
Yeah. Okay. I was behind the camera.
Go ahead. Anil
I was behind the
Dandekar.
camera.
Yeah. Shall I start, or we wait for people to
Hey,
join?
start.
Okay. So thanks, Yogi. This is, I think, the first time we have to break the meeting twice. That itself indicates, the longevity of this meeting. And
Right.
like you were able to keep all of us interested in this subject, which itself speaks a lot about your knowledge and lot about the way you have explained to us about the fitness and overall aspects. I think from your explanations and everything, I could see there is a real great amount of knowledge which you have with you, and you have a very nice way of explaining it very easily, which everybody can understand. So I think thanks a lot from all of us. We have definitely learned a lot of things. You have given your numbers in PPT, so maybe people will keep bothering you on issues about umpires and fitness about the umpires. So please bear with all our fraternity members. But I would just a suggestion. I don't know how we can take it forward. Just you can think about it. Because this I'm taking liberty to ask you because you have seen all umpires working in a close quarters. So, like for umpires are from different age groups and different. We face different challenges from different age group umpires. So, how you can come up with of all of us help to particularly MCA umpires in terms of this. I think as a group we can keep thinking about it, how it would be in detail helpful, not only pre-season but during the season also, because I think what important aspect you have emphasized is about avoiding injury. And I think that's a challenge as an umpire I would always face, because particularly with the season so long, how to avoid the injury at the same time keep fit. So I think that's all we. But again, thanks really a lot for great knowledge which you have experienced. Yeah, you want to say
I
something?
just like to add over here, जैसे कि what you said, what I've seen closely with the umpires, has been traveling with, being with the umpires for all the Ranji Trophy matches. So what I've observed it, there's some niggles are there, something niggles are there, some back issues are there, generally more for a back, some hand shoulder, and you said there's an injury which happens. So only what we can do is how we can try and understand the injury. What is the injury? If we try and understand, अगर हम उससे पहले forecast कर सकते हैं, so we can try and prevent the injuries. So that is basically we do when you do a player assessment. We do an assessment. So an assessment when it done, we'll get an idea. Okay, as the season goes long, these issues I might get encountered going forward. But abhi nahi ho raha hai, maybe aa gaya. So we can try and do an assessment and maybe understand that these are the niggles which could lead me maybe next 2 or 3 months of tour I'll get issues. तो उसको forecast कर सकते हैं by doing assessment. So that is one what I feel. What try to answer your query.
Yeah, I think one more aspects which I would like to which is because when we are taking positions, particularly for umpires, when we take positions for run out or everything, there are a lot of times sudden movements and sudden body weight is shifting from one leg to another and all those aspects. So on those lines, what precautions as an umpire we need to take, or how swiftly, or how, because that is the area where we can lead to a lot of injuries also in terms of, ankle or knee or hip, that kind of thing. So I think you can just think over it, how, that agility portion can also be added into this, so that, we remain more swift, particularly towards taking position. Because honestly, I had fallen very badly in a BCCI game while taking position when I was going backward, and I put my weight on a wrong way, which led to a injury. So I think that aspect we can think about.
Right.
But anyway,
Anil,
yeah, Ganesh.
Yeah, in fact, what we did today with Yogesh and in a superb manner, in a sort of way, was to understand what pre-season fitness basics need to be done and to grow. We are at a close end of the season in the sense that everybody is locked in whatever form. Nobody has access to everything. But surely when the cricket season starts, I would like to use Yo or his teammates to do one big session with us. Maybe not one big, but probably looking at the longevity of people doing these sort of trainings for umpires, which probably we will set the bar right round on all the associations to come. I'm sure Yogesh will
I'm always listening.
to make those programs. But he can develop a team for us. And you heard?
Sure, sir.
Able to hear me?
Yes, sir. It's audible.
Thank you so much, Joe. I mean, I must say, I never, to be very honest with you, I never thought in this short span of time you would cover this so beautifully. I must say I'm feeling fitter now than what I was 3 months ago, only watching you do some exercises and listening, more than doing it myself. And God bless you with everything. I mean, you're one of the top human beings in this field that I know of. But I know quite a few. Them are the real gem of a person. Wish you, your family, Ruby, and the kids the best in life from all of us. I'm sure we'll be in touch with you as we grow into this 3-4 week schedule. Probably look for a schedule with you after 4 weeks to see if somebody's done these exercises, what they need to do better to improve their thing. As you rightly suggested, that after 3 to 4 weeks, people's energy levels will plateau out. We would look forward to you, and I'm sure, as usual, you will not disappoint because you never disappointed me ever. And sometimes I really use that goodwill to a long extent on you. Thanks so much, you. I mean, really.
And sir, my support is always there, sir. I mean, whenever you need me, I'll be there, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. You're really brilliant. Just
Thank
the
you,
word, effort. Small space, camera adjustments, explanations, the exercises, the reason for the exercises. More than that, the queries of guys who do half-baked exercises. It's something really worth listening to. In due course, I will send you your recorded version for you. In due course. We have recorded this for and I'm sending it to you so that you also know how brilliant you were in this. I know it's a natural extension for you to do these things, but you were great. Let's be personally honest. I'm not giving you, flattering you. To me, I'm a man who calls a spade a spade. We work together. You know how we been. We're good friends, but if anything has to be told, I don't hesitate. But at the same time, I must say it was a top class session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
All the best to you. I'm sure you'll
Thank
keep
you so
growing
much.
and keep growing and growing and growing because a human like you has to only grow. And thank Ruby on our behalf. She's
She's behind
really
the
helped
camera.
you to do this
Thank you, sir.
by staying away from you for this time.